Hi, I'm Mike, Janky Time Production. Got a 2004 Toyota 4runner SR5. The wheel bearing sounds like it's going out. First thing we're going to do is take off the tire. I'm going to use a cordless impact. If you got one, it makes it a lot easier. Otherwise, you got to use the lug wrench. Got to take off the brake caliper and the rotor. Right now we're using a 14 millimeter socket, or you can use a wrench. You got to remove the whole brake caliper, and because this line is stationary, you have to take this bracket off or you'll break that brake line. So take this off first. Okay, so once you get your caliper off, we just slid it up over here so it's not hanging by the brake lines. You don't want to bust anything. Then your rotor just should come right off. Now, we had to tap on it and turn it and tap it and turn it and tap it to get it to come off, because it's been on there a while. But it'll just come off. There's nothing holding it. Okay, you got to loosen these bolts all the way back. I had to beat on it to get it off. So once you loosen all 4 bolts, and it just comes off. This piece here, right behind it. Make sure you put it back on the same way. There's 4 bolts, 2 here and then 2 here. 17 millimeter wrench, and you can probably only use a wrench to get it, because those bolts go all the way back up against here, and that's as far as they go, and you don't have hardly any room. You just leave them in there because you can't get them out. Alright, as you can see, we got the new one on. I don't see the cap, so we're going to attempt to take the cap off the old one. Make sure that rubber ring is on the new one and the inside. It goes around here when you put the new one on. Make sure you get the whole assembly, or you have to press the bearing in if you buy just the bearing. So what I did to get the cap out is I put a socket, a long socket, then I used the extension and tapped it out with a hammer, because apparently the new one doesn't come with one, unless it was a mistake, but it didn't have one, and I'm pretty sure you need the cap because you don't want debris getting up in there. Okay, so I put the cap back on. I used the socket again. You don't need the extension on this part because you're pushing it on to the inside. And just tap it in. Then you can put the rotor on, which I already did, and just put a lug nut on just to hold it in place so you can put your caliper back on. Alright, so I got the caliper back on, everything's in place. Now all I got to do is put the tire back on. That's it.
And remember, buy the right part. As they say in one of my childhood movies, keep the change, you filthy animal. If you like this video, hit that bell. Janky Time Production.